Hey Seeker, welcome to Libra. So Libra, you don't care. And then you sit on the floor, lean your back on the wall, and then you kind of do care. But then you get up feeling empowered, and then you don't care. And then you wash the dishes, and you do care. But then you get dressed, and you put on your makeup or whatever, and feel really, really amazing, and you just don't care. And you get out of the house, and you walk around, and then you do care. Whoa! Here's what I have to say about that, Libra. It's okay. You're not lying to yourself when you care. You're not lying to yourself when you don't care. One moment you care more, the next you care less, because your brain is going through, your brain and your heart are going through the processing of whatever it is, whoever it is, however this is. It's processing, it's dealing, it's actually more conscientious and more aware than most. Most people either completely care and are all wallowing and don't give themselves those moments of empowerment. Even when they actually do feel empowered, they just bring themselves down because they want to stay in the wallow. And then there are people who are completely all the time empowered and don't feel the pain and don't care and suppress their emotions when they're trying to come up to the surface. We're all constantly back and forth on the scale. Especially women. 1 second you're supposed to care and be empathic, but then the next you're supposed to be an empowered feminist and not give an F or whatever. Like, it's very confusing. The process of equilibrium, of finding your footing. You're actually just being more honest with yourself than most. So don't judge yourself. Sorry, I just feel like I want to tuck it in. So don't judge yourself for changing how you feel or going back and forth or being moody or whatever you want to call it, or whatever someone wants to call it. Quite the opposite. Give yourself the credit for being so in tune with exactly where your psyche is on the scale in any given moment. And it's not just subconsciously in tune, you're consciously in tune. You're like, this is how I feel now, this is how I feel now, this is how I feel now, this is how. Now, your environment will not understand, they will judge you for it, so play the game. Unless you're really trusting someone and they really get it, and otherwise, put up whatever aspect of you that you feel will be most beneficial for the circumstance and for the situation. But when you're with yourself, feeling like you're going crazy, you're not going crazy. You're actually helping balance humanity's sliding on the scale. Because we're going through this major change as society, as women, as men. How are we supposed to feel about things versus how are we supposed to just be strong about things? Which one is it? When? How? Do we do both? Oh, we're supposed to integrate, so I'm supposed to care but feel empowered at the same time? Okay. Yay. I know that you're not experiencing it as balance. Take it from a Libra moon. But you're working through balancing your own system and balancing the system of the collective. And you're doing great work, Libra. Okay? While being a moody weirdo. You're like looking in the mirror and you're like, I'm just a moody weirdo. Yeah, you are, and that's so freaking cool and beautiful, and thank you for doing that for us and for yourself. Namaste. Okay, Lightseers Tarot. So today's the day for this? Okay. Or right now, just right now. 3 of Swords. There is a lot of pain inside. There's a reason why you go from emotional to empowered and so on and so forth. There's a lot of pain there that needs processing, that needs attention, an outlet. And then life demands you to get up and get dressed, or to make the phone call, send the email, have the protein smoothie, all that jazz, you know? And so you do it in between. Let it bleed. You know, let it bleed and then cover it with Band-Aids and then go outside into the world and then let it bleed and let it out bit by bit. And you're like, but I don't want to bleed out my life force. You're not bleeding out your life force. You're bleeding out toxicity and pain and trauma that the body carries. The body holds on to trauma. If something happened a long, long time ago, but you still haven't processed or released it, the body is holding on to it. And it gets integrated into the cell. And it affects your look, it affects your behavior, it affects your thought process, it affects everything. Even if it's seemingly unconnected. Everything is connected. Your body really wants to let go and not hold on to what it's holding and carrying. The tower, you need a release. You need a breakdown for a breakthrough. In order for the light to come through the cracks, you gotta let the cracks grow and be, and not keep cementing them. When I say, okay, now get dressed and go out and be in the empowered mood, I don't mean cementing them. I mean like putting a little bit of a cover for the sake of the social whatever with your outer cycles. But when you're with yourself and with someone you trust and feel like you can open up to, please do so. If you keep holding this in and create only and judge yourself for having moods and insist on only a tip-top persona displayed to the world, and even to yourself, if you even do that to yourself in the mirror and you hold back the tears and you hold back the grief and you hold back the everything and you just put on a straight face and you're singing along in the shower, and then, but it's not real. You won't have energy to put up a great show out into the world if you're constantly wasting energy on putting up a show in front of yourself. You gotta not act in front of yourself. We all act in front of the world. I'm not saying it with judgment. But in front of yourself, please allow yourself to be the moody weirdo. It's cute. You're awesome. No, not everyone will understand it. They don't need to understand. They don't want to understand themselves, so they refuse to understand you. Because if they understand your pain and your mood swings, then that means they'll have to understand their own. And they're a tough guy, or they are an all sensitive all the time gal. I will be gender stereotypical as much as I want. Find yourself in the reading and don't impose anything on me. I will never impose anything on you. You are free. I am free. Freedom that comes at the expense of another's freedom is not freedom, it's tyranny. Correcting injustice with injustice isn't justice, it is vengeance. You be. I be. Simple. For there's just a few of you that got triggered over me saying tough guy and cute girl. Oh, Morgane, you're falling into gender stereotypes. Shut the F up. This is a reading of spirit. This is a reading about spirit and essence, not about pettiness that makes you feel like you're about spirit. That's the illusion of spirit. That's the shadow aspect of spirituality. When you're vengeance and petty and you call yourself a spiritual justice warrior. Ouch. Ooh, 3 of Cups. So you have a support system. You have a support system, Libra. You have friends that kind of feel the same, but they don't say it. So if you'll say it, then they're going to be like, oh my God, I feel the same. There's a lot of joy on top of the sadness, 3 of Swords and 3 of Cups. And the Tower in between them, they wants them to not deny the other. Don't let your pain deny your joy, and don't let your joy deny your pain. It's okay that they coexist. Because there's a lot of things to be happy for, right? You're doing so well. And you are grateful for the things that are working out really, really well in your life. It's not a contradiction. When you're feeling sad or upset or moody, it's not a contradiction to gratitude. Quite the opposite. It's expressing gratitude to truth. And to who you are by allowing it to be. The constant breakdown, breakthrough that is driving you bananas, it's good for you. It means that you're being good to you. The Hierophant. And then comes the real breakthrough. Out of the polar yin-yang cycles that constantly contradict one another and break into one another's cycle comes the Big Bang. And just light of awareness and consciousness is created. And from the 2 seemingly different cycles, one cycle is created, an integration of both. Light that includes all the colors and all the frequencies. Anywhere between positive emotions to negative emotions, and so on and so forth. And it's a climb. The up and down and up and down and up and down cycles of maybe mood swings and changes and positive and negative and so on and so forth. You keep doing that until you realize that it's actually a spiral that is taking you up. From where you're perceiving it, right? It's like up, down, up, down. But the divine is everywhere. So the spiral goes like this. It expands and it grows. And it reaches the wider frequencies. There's no high-low frequency. Watch my 13th element. High vibe, the truth about frequencies, vibrations, and what they all mean. You don't have to go up or down. You just got to go wide. And wide is around you. It's there, it's there, it's there, it's there, it's there, it's there, right? The 3D expands into a 4 and 5 and so on D. And this is where you're heading toward with this Hierophant. Finding the truth of the self that is grounded and messy at once. You are quirky and cute, and you have it all put together. You're adventurous and free, and you're grounded and stable, and have your shit together. Boom. And May, Taurus season, is bringing that out in you. Oh, hey, pigeon. A pigeon just landed on my balcony with a twig in her mouth. That is so funny. I love it. Okay. It brings to my mind, the archetype of the Yonai Maleh Shel Zayit, the dove with the olive branch in her mouth, symbol for peace and prosperity. You know, there's that quote, peace can only be made with your enemies, right? So if you seek integration, you have to take within yourself, into yourself, with love and compassion, the different polar aspects in you. Not denying one or suppressing the other, letting them both. And it's going to feel like a messy fireworks type of showdown. But it's going to be so pretty, because you're pretty. You're beautiful. Inside and outside. Your joy and your agony. It's fascinating. Be yourself. Let the tribe of people that love you as you are then be able to see you, recognize you, find you, come to you, invite you to come to them, you know? Ten of Cups. Hierophant and Ten of Cups. Some of you are going into a commitment. Some of you are celebrating a love relationship. We also have the Three of Cups. I think maybe some of you have gone through a very painful breakup or an ending of some sort, and you're going to find yourself in a very loving, supportive, empathic relationship that I think will also broaden your cycles, your social circles. You'll meet a lot of people through them, or somehow the two of you will be doing things that will generate getting to know new people, more people. I think something that will connect the two of you is genuine joy, because you tapped into your genuinity, being genuine. And you drew someone that can do the same. I want you to notice something. You see this beautiful rainbow and colors and joy, and beneath it, it's like dark web. Dark matter is what holds matter. Empty space is what allows matter to be formed. What allows light to be seen. Light within light isn't seen. Light through the darkness is seen. Through the polarities, through the pain, through the agony, through the grief, through the moods, you'll find yourself. Your complexity, and you'll enjoy it instead of judging it. And then someone else will enjoy it instead of judging it. Show me more, please, for Libra for the month of May. What else do Libra need to know? Wow, Libra, love is just all over this reading. You have Two of Cups and Queen of Swords. This is incredible. So you're not going to stop being yourself, Libra. You're not going to stop being a justice warrior just because you emotionally connect with someone and give yourself. It's okay. You can do both. You have your plans, you have your ideas, you have your goals, you have your values, you have your sense of truth and what is important and what you care about. And you can share that with this person. You can talk to them about it. And maybe they'll want to join you, and maybe not. Some things you can do together, some things you can do by yourself. We move from the Three of Cups to the Two of Cups. It's like, but there's also, the more you connect with people and the more you connect with a loved one, the more you find yourself peaceful in your solitude. Right? Right now we're starting with a solitude that feels very moody and up and down and right and left and so on and so forth. But then when you just let it out and allow it, just allow it. You don't need to actively do anything other than simply not reject it. Just allow it. And then when that beautiful complexity plays out in a way that brings you very, very eclectic, different types of people and experiences, and a connection with someone who's also complex and sees the beauty in your own complexity, that's when your sense of self, your core sense of self, finally finds its, its middle point, right when it's absolutely peaceful and absolutely quiet and absolutely balanced. And there's no shake-up, right? How does a swing find its balance? By first shaking, moving back and forth until it finds itself. Same like with the pendulum, right? It has to go through the extremes before it mellows down and finds its balance, its middle, its quiet place. Go bananas and you will find your quiet place. Now, when I say go bananas, just because I don't know who's watching, that doesn't mean hurting anyone. That doesn't mean taking out your anger at other people. Sharing how you feel in a safe environment, yes. Exploding and hurting others, no. Right? Just to premise this. I see you contemplating, like mid-month, after experiencing an incredible amount of joy and connection with someone. Possibly thinking, wait, but is this it? What about all my goals and visions and good fights? You're not going anywhere. Don't use good, high ideals to sabotage the best and the highest ideal, which is love. Bottom of the deck, the Lovers. This is incredibly romantic. There's a lot of desire here. This Lovers card brings up such different energy than other Lovers in other decks. It's and the symbolism on it is beautiful. So you have the Merkabah here. Merkabah means chariot. It's the Star of David in 3D. It's from Jewish mysticism, Kabbalah. So every time, just a quick rant, when you see, I see a lot of videos that teach about the Merkabah and what it symbolizes. They don't mention the meaning of the word Merkabah, which is in Hebrew, Merkabah, chariot. They don't mention that it's the Star of David, although it's obviously the Star of David and it's the source of it, right? It's directly connected. It's not an assumption, right? And it's from Jewish ancient mysticism. Not talking about it, spiritualists out there, spiritual teachers out there who don't even know what it means. Not talking about the origin of it, the source of it, the meaning of it. Either you don't know, and if you don't know, why are you making a video about it? Or you do know and you intentionally don't mention the absolute connection. Jew doesn't give birth to the notion of the Merkabah. Okay? So if you don't mention the absolute connection on purpose, you need to examine your inner anti-Semite. Okay? And I don't care if it's not how you feel, you're just, you know that other people feel that and you don't want to lose their views. That's fucking worse. That's worse, you creeper. So just to all my viewers, I know it's not you, and to all my viewers, just so you know, when you see a video or an explanation about the Merkabah and someone is not mentioning it, they either don't know, so they should not be teaching about it because it's like basic one-on-one, 101, I'm sorry about it, or they do know and then intentionally don't mention it, so to not trigger anyone who has issue with Jews. Okay? Yeah, just important note. It's everywhere. I see that suppression everywhere. I'm very mad about it. And I will call it out wherever I see it. Whether it's direct or vicarious, doesn't matter. So what it means and how it connects to the reading and to the Lover's card, first of all, it's a symbol of yin and yang integrating, right? The Star of David, it's the upper triangle, which symbolizes the heavens and the sky, and the masculine god, and the downward triangle that symbolizes earth, femininity, and the feminine goddess. And the integration of the two that creates a transformation to another dimension, because the Merkabah is a chariot for consciousness. And it also has 6 points, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The lover is a 6. So there's also the Venusian element of love. Just a quick lesson. I don't know why I'm so moved by this card. I really love it. It's beautiful. I love seeing this for you guys. We'll start contemplating, is this something, is this love? Because there's a lot of like romance here in this reading. Is this love something that I can still, fulfill my spiritual mission or ideals with? Yes. You're meant to do these things with love. Okay? It's important. You deserve it. You need it. And you want it. And it's okay to admit all that to yourself. And it's okay to have all these things. Wow, I've been calling out a lot of BS in this reading. And there are people who are really triggered by it. That means I'm on the right path. That means I said some powerful things. Look at how it affected my voice. So thank you to all the beautiful seekers who are now just sent me. I felt like some of you just sent me really good energy of protection, and I really appreciate it. Namaste again. Light will prevail. Because darkness doesn't exist without it. It sabotages itself. When darkness succeeds in suppressing light, it weakens itself as well. So inevitably, it won't be able, the more it does it, the less power it has. So it can never reach the, like when you're right at the finish line, and that's when you need all your strength. That's when darkness and evil can never, they're by the powers of physics, they can never get through that finish line, because that's where you need the most power, but that's when they have the least power, because they went through all of this journey completely depleting itself. And that is when light comes back. Always. Always, always, always. I don't care how annoyed you are by truth. You can never suppress it. And don't worry about, but if truth is free, then lies are free. Yes, but when truth is not free, lies find a way to express themselves, right? Because they're darkness, they just go through anything. But when everything is free, when truth has room to express itself, and the lies have room to express themselves, the truth will always shine brighter and will make the lies even seem more ridiculous. Never suppress truth because you're trying to suppress lies. It's okay to want to suppress lies, obviously. However, if the way to suppressing lies or not letting lies be out there is by also suppressing truth, you lost. You gotta let light always be out there and through the cracks. Okay? We'll always win that way. Always. By the powers of physics and creation. And it's a rough path. But that's how we win. I see big love coming in for you. Big love, Libra. This is amazing. We have the Hierophant, 10 of Cups, 2 of Cups, the Lovers. This is big. For some of you, it's the love of your life. If you've been around, you know I never talk like that. Or unless there's a reason. Okay? The Merkabah, Merkabah, the chariot, that is very, very ancient. It's a notion that comes from the first Abrahamic religion, right? That gave birth to the other Abrahamic religions. It's the same Abraham. It comes all the way from there. And there was aligned with a lot of paganism and ancient divine feminine wisdom. The Kabbalah is full of ancient divine feminine wisdom. Explosive with it. This whole, Star of David 3D, the heavens and the earth, integrated, masculine and feminine integrated. 6 points, 6, Venus. It looks like a star. The morning star. It is all combined in the ancient esoterics of it. Very honoring of nature. Very honoring of femininity. And that's where this reading is coming from. That's how powerful this is. It connects heaven and earth. It connects the masculine archetype of faith with the feminine archetype of faith. And that's what source creation is split into. So you need both in order to find your way back to it. Always honor the source of wisdom that you teach and that you follow and that you benefit from. Know the history, know the truth of its origin. Honor the creator, right? If you read something beautiful, and then you want to continue that truth or whatever you studied or read, you're going to quote the writer, right? Or else it's theft. You're not going to pretend that it's yours. Or hide who painted the painting, or who wrote the poem, or who invented the technology. You're not going to do that unless you're a douche. If you're a person of honor, you're not going to do that, right? Same about the esoteric, same about magic. Regardless of what the origin is. Whether you're a part of that origin or not, whether you're connected to it or not. If you teach it, if you live by it, if you benefit from it, honor the creator. Be it a human being, a person, be it a society, a culture, a school of thought, a faith. Please be conscientious and knowledgeable. You can't quiet me down. You can't send your bad mojo at me and have my voice shiver. I will then come back louder, and then your entire essence will shiver. That's how much faith I have in light and in truth. The moon, so deep. This reading is going so deep. You're going so deep this month. I have the moon right here. Hi. We have the eclipse. We have a lunar eclipse on the 16th in Scorpio. Your mood is going to get you into such deep wisdom if you let it. I don't remember in which reading I said that and quoted that. It was a Taurus, but the psychotic drowns in the same waters in which the mystique swims in delight, right? You are that mystique, Libra, Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck, and the Sun. Now we have also the Sun and the Moon. The elements of feminine and masculine divinities, yin and yangs, are coming through so strongly. Now we have it in the celestial events. We have the Sun and the Moon. We have a solar eclipse on April 30th in Taurus, and the Moon in Taurus. We have the lunar eclipse on the 16th in Scorpio, when it's a full moon in Scorpio. And all of it just flows through you and then out of you. Because when someone looks at you, when you look at anyone, what you see isn't them as much as the light that bounces off of them, right? What you're looking at right now, me, is the light that bounces off of me. Who knows how I actually look like? Who knows how anything really looks like? You know, strings and streams and woven energy lines, whatever. And it's like, I think it's beautiful because when you integrate the right and the left lobes within you and the polarities within you with such mastery, and the mastery is in the mess, right? Because order is birthed from entropy, from possibilities. One finite possibility is birthed from the infinite possibilities that you pick and you solidify. But if there is no entropy, there is nothing to pick and solidify from hence create a sense of order. And this is what you do so masterfully, because you just surrender to your moody weirdo-esque, right? And you work with those energies instead of against. And when someone looks at you or hears you, that's what they see. They see the light bounces off of you in such a balanced, integrated way. I mean, look at this. Lovers, the moon, the sun. Some of you have great love coming your way, and it's a result of great love being integrated within you, between your connection to the earth and your connection to source, between your connection to your spirit and your connection to your body, loving it, them. It reminds me of the golden ratio, the spiral. If you're not familiar with the golden ratio, Google the Fibonacci sequel, or DuckDuckGo, the Fibonacci sequel. It's the ratio of 1.618. And it creates a perfect spiral and a perfect balance, not perfect balance, perfect ratio between the different elements that make everything, really, from nature to animals to our human body. You can find the golden ratio within everything. So if you're not familiar with the golden ratio and you're into magic, which you probably are if you're here, especially if you're into the magic and science, check it out. Speaking of, we also have the Tree of Life from Kabbalah right here, with the 10 sphirot, the 10 counts of the worlds. There's the top one, you can't really see here, it's cut off in the card, but there's Keter, crown, Chokhmah, Binah, maybe intelligent wisdom. Will that be the right will that be the right linguistic interpretation to English? Translation. Yeah. Because there's feminine wisdom and then there's masculine wisdom. So Keter, Chokhmah, Binah, and so on and so forth, until the most bottom one, Yesod, which is earth, or plane, right? And you can't, it's hard to tell which one is the above and which one is the below, because they are the same. The tree of life, right? A tree branches can only grow as tall as the depths of its roots. And it just brings us back to the cycle of things, as opposed to like chronological up versus down. Chronological, linear, up versus down. It's all a circle. It's all a spiral. Okay? It's all within you now, Libra. This is a very metaphysic reading. Very powerful, very deep, very deep. And if you start this reading with thinking you're all over the place and you don't have control over yourself, blah, 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 just find all the power and the energy within you that make you confused. And instead of being confused by them, work with them. Work with the planets, work with astrology, work with the sun and the moon. Work with integration, work with ancient esoteric symbols. From whichever culture you connect with. A lot of Jewish mysticism is coming through in those cards, in these cards, but you can find whatever you connect with yourself, right? The Fibonacci sequel, it's nature, it's science, it's not, so whatever you jive with, really. Okay, so there's, oh wow, 41 minutes. Sorry guys, it's a long reading. So there's an obvious love connection here. That's what I'm going to focus on, and the extended that I will pull cards for right now. I'm going to send to you and your person for the month of May. Links are below. You can find them available. You can find the extended available in the description box. Thank you for being here. Thank you to my channel members. Thank you to my subscribers, and thank you to my shifters on Patreon. I love you all, and I'm grateful for every single one of you. Bye for now.